All right, good morning, everyone. It's the August 5th, 2026 IDA Finance Committee meeting. As always, I will read our IDA's mission. The Fulton County's IDA mission is to drive economic growth and prosperity by preparing shovel-ready sites for development, including commercial enterprise, diverse housing options, workforce development, and tourism. First order of business is just an update on the IDA investments, as we've been meeting regularly prior to the regularly scheduled board meeting. You'll see off of the daily treasury bill site that Kevin Corkery from NBT Bank provided to us. The current T-bill rates as of August 4th. 3.75, 3.86, and 3.89. And just to note that there are two different rates that we look at. This particular rate was a link that Kevin informed us to use, but when we go and request the rate from him prior to our board meeting, the rates seem to be a little bit lower. And I'm not 100% sure why, but he usually provides the rates to us a day or two before our regularly scheduled meeting. So I'm gonna guess when we get to your regularly scheduled meeting next week that these rates will be slightly lower. But the rates above that you'd see as of the 7/6 meeting, those are the rates that Mr. Corkery did provide to us for the 3, 6, and 12. The 12-month period, where you can see they're a little bit lower, but they're also a little bit higher, honestly, than we've seen historically the past, several months. Also for your next meeting, just so you know, I have Melinda putting together the spreadsheet that will pass out both the Finance Committee and the board meeting, tracking all of the rates back from, I think in January, I told her to go back to. Remember how we said we just kind of keep a spreadsheet and see how they're going? And those will be the rates that Kevin provides to us specifically. So that's the update on that. Or is there any discussion on that? Or Mike, do you have any comments?
No comments here.
Okay. So we'll continue to be in a holding pattern for that at the moment. Again, item number 2 is our fast track track C grant award. Again, I'll leave this in the background information just to refresh your memory every month. Really, the updates I have on this, first at the bottom of page 3, we've had discussions and Mike put together a kind of a funding spreadsheet for us. But I did confirm, Mike, that the agreements that we have in place with both CT Mail and EDP, those agreements include both construction administration and construction management. So in the past, in particular, Mike's noted that we would need to have somebody go out to the site just to make sure the contractor installed X number of feet of pipe. Well, both of those contracts include that oversight, Mike.
That's good.
The construction administration, that is a scope whereby if additional engineering needs to be done to resolve an issue that was found in the field, that would fall under the construction administration piece, as well as signing off on certified payrolls from the contractor and the engineer. Okay, the construction management, that is where they have somebody on their staff going out periodically in the field, inspecting the work and making sure that the contractor is doing the work according to the plans, and just kind of that oversight. So in regards to our funding, those scopes of work are included in our current 2 contracts, so that won't be an additional cost that we would need to incur as we navigate these projects. Okay.
Good news.
Mike, do you have any comments or on that? I think he's coming and he's switching to
Right.
video here.
No, I don't.
Okay. So what I was gonna do, Mike, is I was gonna look at your funding spreadsheet, and I was going to just, make those changes to that. Your payment schedule, I guess, is what we were, referred to it as.
Can you hear me?
Yep, yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's fine to make those changes.
Okay.
And thanks for making the confirmation for the reimbursements.
Yep, no problem. Also last month, we did talk about, the grant disbursement agreement. We noted that we, could submit for reimbursements through the grant on a quarterly basis. And the update as to where our grant disbursement agreement is ESD did hold their public hearing on July 17th. Right now, it continues to be in a comment period. They kind of do that several weeks after the public hearing even. And then once they determine that the comment period can be closed, we will then receive a formal and final GDA that will be sent to us. And then we will have to act on that, sign that obviously, and then our 1% commitment fee will be due at that time. Okay. I'm hoping that, we can have that resolved and in place for your September meeting. I have not heard that it would be ready for this next week. But nothing other than that has really changed on the GDA from what I've heard so far. And again, we can start incurring those costs as we have, back when the announcement was made, which was back in December. So we fall within that time frame where we can incur costs, which we have. Okay. Any comments or questions on that portion of the Fast New York grant?
The 1% commitment fee, it says when they give us the date or whatever. If it's before our meeting, we just still have to give them that money, or is there a time frame to get it to them? Like, do we give them to them? Can we wait till our September meeting? Or do they want it, like if they said we're ready to go middle of August or whatever, do we have to pay the 90,000 then?
I think that they're relatively lax. They basically just say if you can provide the 1% commitment fee at the time the GDA is executed, that's it. But I think that'd be pretty lax on, when we make that payment, honestly.
8 years from now.
Again, just so we're all clear.
Right, yeah.
That 1% commitment fee, will be reimbursed by Niagara. So, for that particular portion. Okay, so just so we all understand that. The water system upgrade project, as you know, I did canvass the board a week or two ago about going out to bid, and that's due to a couple of things. First, as we all have driven by the Niagara project, they are moving right along, and they plan on being active in December. So as far as their water testing and fire protection testing and everything like that. So, with that, we need to get this out on the streets as ASAP. CT Mail did, finalize their bid specs. I enclosed a copy of the bid advertisement that went out. I requested Kara to formally send that to the local media, which were required to do so, which she did. Basically, this is out on the streets as of today, or as a couple of days ago, honestly. The overview is, a project where we'll be installing 3,100 feet of 12-inch ductile iron water main. Various improvements to the water booster pump station at the park, and the disinfection of the 300,000 gallon water storage tank at the Tryon Park. Project start date going to be very aggressive, and that's going to be in September 14th. The bid date is August 26th, and the project completion date is December 14th. So it is a very condensed timeline. CT Mail is pretty confident that, based upon the scope of this project, that we will be able to get this done. There are liquidated damages included in the bid structure, so the contractor that bid on the project understand that. You'll also see at the bottom of the advertisement for bid, we have all of the language that we're required to have in regards to the grant funding and the MWB and SDVOB requirements. So contractors understand that they will be held to providing us with various completed forms on their utilization of MWBE contractors.
Quick question.
Yep, go ahead.
I mean, again, it's aggressive and I mean, we're being pushed by this timeline like that. But what if we don't get someone to, I mean, me as a contractor, I mean, I know if you try to get a builder, hey, I want my deck done 3 weeks from now, they're gonna tell you, I'll see you in the spring.
Mhm.
I mean, this seems like it's specialized stuff too. I mean, I just, not devil advocate, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
this kind of worries me that push. And they're saying like, why are we dropping more, or whether it inflates the price?
Mhm.
That, you know,
Yeah.
well, yeah, we'll do it for you, but you're gonna pay for it, you know?
Yeah,
I mean, I worry that something gonna say, I can't do it in that time frame. I can't start in September.
yeah. No, it is definitely quick.
Worrisome to me.
The only thing I will say is that typically, well, not typically, CT Mail in this particular case, has notified various contractors about this project coming up since probably end of June.
Good.
So there's some that, you know, that have known about the project.
Mhm.
And that's a typical
Okay.
scenario. They have already received half a dozen or so emails from contractors saying, can I get the bid specs before they even receive the advertisement?
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of interest.
All right, good. I just didn't know if you're gonna get
Point.
Yeah,
one or none or whatever
Yeah.
the case would be.
go ahead, Mike.
No, I agree with Joe. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of interest, but if they've got other projects they're in the middle of, they may not be able to start September 14th. And then I'll just, secondly, we got to get some kind of financing in place because we need to bridge the time between when we need to pay the contractors and when we receive reimbursements on those grants.
Mhm. Right, yep. No, definitely understood for sure. Again, that's something that we need to get in place, very soon. I know that we can do that now since we have that draft GDA. And I'll make a point to, start, finalizing that, this week. But with that being said,
And
you know,
did we reach out to the county if they had any interest in providing the financing? We thought that was a low possibility, but I didn't know if we even asked.
yeah, I had a discussion with a few supervisors about it. I would say that there may be another discussion about it today at our capital project meeting. That I have at 1 o'clock. I'll just leave it at that at the moment. But again, I think that obviously we need to move forward with that. Getting that financing. Fortunately, I think we do, and we kind of went over what we had available for cash flow. Not that we want to utilize all of that by any means. But again, if you look at the local match of $995,000, all of that work, that local match is all paid for by Niagara as well. So, we have basically another $1 million available.
And they've been paying.
Very consistently.
Yes.
I've been sending them their invoices, and we get the checks within about 2 weeks. So that's pretty fast. So yeah, I mean, this project is moving pretty quickly now. It's great though, right? I mean, that's what we want to have happen.
So,
So,
Scott,
yep.
you obviously water project. How about what's the status of the sewer project?
Say that again, Mike?
What's the status of the sewer project?
Yeah, we'll talk about that here in a minute too, if you'd like.
Okay.
just so we understand, Niagara's target dates, and I was out yesterday for a site meeting with Niagara. I spent about 2.5, 3 hours out there with them. We had a meeting with National Grid as well, so they're pushing that obviously, but, the first, target date for the water is December 3rd. That's the day that, they plan on start, testing their, fire protection system. We have the water capacity available now for them to do that, so that's not an issue. But in order to do that, we have to have that 300,000 gallon tank disinfected, which, is obviously in the scope of work that we're bidding right now. And we're gonna kind of play that, as far as where the contractor is and the installation of the water line and the pump station upgrades in comparison to when we have them start disinfecting that tank. Based upon what CT Mail told me yesterday was they didn't want to have the contractor go in there and do it in September because they don't want to have the stagnant water sitting in the tank. So it's going to be kind of like, okay, we're going to get to this point where, we're going to say, okay, contractor, on November, whatever, we want you to disinfect that tank. We're going to then fill it, which takes about a day from what I'm told. And then they do testing on bacteria counts, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got to make sure that that tank is ready and online for December 3rd. Okay. The second date, that they have targeted right now is December 12th. That's kind of when they want to start, actually, operating their equipment, not necessarily to bottle water, but to test their equipment. Okay. So those are our two time frames, and you can see that we have a project completion date on December 14th. So we're really, really pushing the wire here. So, okay, wastewater system upgrades, where we are with that, and then we'll talk about this for a little bit here. As you know, we had a lengthy discussion at the last Finance Committee meeting, as well at the last board meeting in regards to the change order number 1 with the contract, with EDP. The change order number 1 was executed for additional engineering and design to install or bid out and install a new wastewater pump station at the Tryon Park. And we discussed before the evaluation that EDP has undertaken of both the existing pump station at the park as well as the state infrastructure. EDP is basically concluded that our pump station, or the sewer district 4's pump station, maybe specific and clarify that, has not been operating at the 300 gallons per minute as it is designed. And with that being said, difficult to put upgrades in to expand that pump station by just increasing the pumps. We can't get to the 600 gallons per minute capacity. So as discussed, we discussed installing a new wastewater pump station at the park, and we're maximizing that based upon the maximum capacity of the state's infrastructure and the diameter of the wastewater lines, as well as their pump station on 29. So we executed that change order. Second, purchase of new pumps for the existing wastewater pump station. So, as you know, Niagara has a requirement that they need 300 gallons per minute capacity. Based upon EDP's analysis, he's not as confident as he was earlier, whether or not we can meet that through all the testing that EDP has done. So he is recommending that we move forward and purchase 2 brand new pumps for the existing pump station. These are the exact pumps that we would be speccing in the new pump station. And the idea is we'll put 2 pumps, replace the pumps in the existing pump station, make sure we have that 300 gallons per minute capacity needed. When we install the new pump station at a later date, we're going to take those new pumps that we installed, and we're gonna put them into the new pump station. Okay, so it's kind of a temporary fix, but it's not money that we're just throwing out the window. We're gonna reuse those pumps and install them in the new pump station.
Yes.
So EDP, reached out to the sewer district, obviously. The sewer district and, the county's sewer program, which falls technically under Highways and Facilities Department, is utilizing Sulzer pumps. That's our standard pumps now that we're incorporating in all of our pump stations. We've just installed those in our newest pump station out at for Sewer District 5. And you will see that Mr. Martin has drafted a letter to the IDA, basically stating that those pumps need to be used. And there's only one source for these pumps, which is Schreer Martin Processing Equipment. So this is a sole source product. As you know, the IDA is required to use public bidding procedures, etc. There is a clause in the public bidding policies and in your policy that if it's a sole source equipment, then we can go direct. I've had confirmed this with Kara, and she agrees that in this case that we can move forward. Again, time is of the essence on this, because you'll see in your agenda and in the quote, I believe that you should have in your backup here, there is a lead time on just getting these pumps in. So that's obviously something that we're looking at. You'll see that the quote that the IDA received for the purchase of new pumps is $76,184. So again, in order to meet this phase one demand, it's rather important that we get these pumps purchased. So the IDA would be requested to purchase these pumps directly. The pumps would fall under the grant. That would be a grant component. Okay. This will give the process of getting these pumps ordered, getting them in. In the meantime, obviously the EDP is working on bidding out the installation of the pumps. Okay, which isn't going to take as long. But if we had to wait to bid out the pumps and have the contractor purchase the pumps, we're not going to make the deadline because of the lead time on the pumps. So this is obviously new information that I'm bringing to you, and I will open it up for comments and questions.
Here's a quick question about the EDP, the costs. On page 3, originally it was 108,500. Are we going to vote an additional 225 or is 225 the cap?
No, it was an additional 225.
So it's 333.5 as well.
That is correct.
Right.
Yep.
Yep.
And
that's being reimbursed.
The additional work for the new pump station, that's going to be separate. We will not be reimbursed from Niagara for any of those costs, but the IDA agreed to include all of that cost into our grant project.
9 million.
Yeah.
9.9, whatever. Yep. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is
I
goes a lot of the norm, but
yeah,
we're navigating schedules and issues.
Yeah, I just hope that everything falls in place because again, things don't usually go the way they supposed to.
Trust me.
It took me a week and a half to get one piece of paper from Sleep Center place. Oh yeah, we'll mail it to you. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I think I hear what Joe's saying, and this is a very compressed time frame, and trying to stay on top of everything to make sure it goes as planned. No, we all have other jobs. Have we thought about hiring? Do we have somebody that's like an administrator to oversee this stuff for us? Besides you, Scott, you've got other things on your plate too.
No,
Would EDP, I mean, if they're getting paid and stuff, would they be the one to say, hey, talk to this company saying what's our timeline or anything?
Oh, yeah, no,
Do
100%.
they do that or?
No, the two engineering firms that we have, CT Mail and EDP,
Right.
they're not just doing the engineering. I mean, they're actively engaged in monthly meetings, not even monthly, bi-weekly meetings that we have with Niagara. They are, so yeah, I mean, myself, Travis and Jake Gordon, again, we're navigating all of these issues and complexities. So it's not just me overseeing
Right, no.
technically this project, but I don't, I mean, I'm confident that we're gonna get it done, and that's, again, this is a result of that, just knowing right now that
Mhm.
we need to do this,
Yep. Okay.
rather than waiting. So I
Right.
mean, that's kind of where we are, but. So I'm
Yeah, I'm
comfortable.
just thinking, Scott, I know you also have planning on your plate. You also have tourism on your plate.
Yep,
I don't want to spread you too thin. And if we need to get somebody to, help assist you,
mhm,
I'm not opposed to doing that.
right,
This is a big project. And then if you think about it, this project's going to roll into the $15 million power up project next.
yeah, we can talk a little bit about that, but there's really not much to talk about at the moment because I haven't even been assigned a project manager from ESD yet. So
Right.
we may not see any of that start even from the project management piece until next year.
I was gonna say.
There's a lot of, I don't want to get off the topic here, but there's a lot of discussions being had right now between ESD and National Grid just to see how ESD is going to navigate a grant disbursement agreement. Simply from the
Right.
fact that.
National Grid probably
Yeah,
National Grid probably want their 15 million up front before we even start.
Yeah, so the National Grid's the only contractor, so, but anyway, so, I just, obviously having our meetings prior to the regular board meeting every month is beneficial to me, as well, as we're managing this, and so that, you can have these, discussions, and I have time to get more information if I need to prior to the next board meeting, which is next Tuesday. So, I guess the process of the IDA directly purchasing, these two new pumps. This will be on the agenda for next week to make that official. But I think that the IDA board in general will be looking to the three of you to say, you've had a little bit more time to think about this,
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense.
I mean.
Yeah, the spot I take on this ties back to when we represented the pumps as they are today as having the capacity needed to do phase one. So that was our representation to Niagara and to others, right?
Yeah.
So when we become aware of that, I think it's clearly our responsibility to remediate that. So, us purchasing these pumps makes sense.
Mhm.
Because it ties back to how we believe the property was at the state in which we were presenting it to the buyers. So I don't certainly have any objection over that. I think it's our responsibility. I don't want to spend money either. And Joe and I talk about that all the time, but like this is on us. So I don't think the board will see it any other way. And Mike, unless you think differently, I'd be one nodding going, yeah, we need to do this, or it's our recommendation that we should be doing this.
I mean, my position is the IDA's existence is to promote economic development through providing incentives on a tax basis, but also develop shovel-ready sites.
Yep.
So I am supportive. I guess I'm a little disappointed. I'll say this, seems that we're doing this all on our shoulders. The sewer district's going to benefit from this. The water department's going to benefit from this. the sewer plant is going to benefit from this. The town of Perth, the county, the school districts are going to benefit. Not that the taxing jurisdictions are going to put money into this, but, I think the sewer district 4 owes us a tremendous amount of gratitude. And I would go as far as that they need to start either through the district or the county pumping some money into this other infrastructure, because beyond this infrastructure, we know there's other infrastructure issues out on Route 29.
Right.
Yeah.
And if
Yeah.
we're going to talk about adding another user, a potential pharmaceutical company or baby food company, those all need to be addressed.
Yeah. Definitely.
Getting
So
ahead of myself, but
No, you're
it's
right.
right.
You're right in your thoughts.
You're right.
I agree with you.
And I can obviously that's somewhat the other hat that I wear is just the sewer district in the county as well, even though it doesn't fall directly under my department, but I'm clearly involved. So I just looked up just so everybody understands. I mean, sewer district 4, when the county created that district, and then the IDA deeded all of the infrastructure over to the sewer district, okay, several years ago now. There's been 2 users in that district, right? We had Randy Lott, who's flushing a toilet once or twice a day, maybe a little bit more now, and then Vireo. And there's, so there hasn't been a lot of ability to necessarily create a fund balance. And I'll just tell you, because I asked for this information from our budget director, and right now, sewer district 4 in their capital reserve account has $5,700. That's it. $5,700. The only way that the sewer district can generate more money, obviously, is having more users, which is what we're doing in Tryon. The sewer district itself only encompasses the Tryon Park at the moment. So again, there's really not ability for the sewer district to do much other than, they are maintaining the pump station as far as daily checks and making sure that, it's flowing, but there's really no ability for the sewer district itself without, again, they could go and get a loan from the counties, and we're doing that with some of our other sewer district when there's a big ticket item that the district needs. We've got a process where the district will get a loan from the county, but it's understood that it needs to be paid back. So there is that ability to do that. I just want to be upfront with you on that. But in this particular situation, and just keep me on track here. Because of the grant funding that the IDA has, I think it's anything that we need to do is really going to fall on your shoulders, in my opinion. But clearly, if you want me to push back on the district, I will do that. But
I'm glad it's only 76,000, not 760,000
Yes.
or $300,000.
right, yeah. All right, so that'll be on your agenda for the next meeting next Tuesday. To authorize that disbursement accordingly. So Mike, you're not on Zoom as far as being able to see anything. Must have lost him. Anyways, I
could get my microphone to work, but I can see you guys sitting at the table. So if you put something up, I'll be able to see it.
Okay, good. Let me but I wanted to bring up one little thing here. I just wanted to bring up the latest site plan for you. Let's see. Meeting Finance Committee. Let's see if I can find that. So there it is. Let me see if I can bring it up into Zoom so Mike can see it. Let's see, share. There it is. Okay. Okay, so attached is the latest site plan that we revised based upon our last board meeting. So we added, or Borough Engineering added that additional utility easement that you can see that's running along the right side of the building B and the left side of the building C complex proposed, and that would be to service this lot with additional utilities. Whether it would be, most likely it would be the wastewater and natural gas, and then electric would fall up in this easement. This is already the water piece that we have the easement with the Gloversville Water Department. So I think, Mike, you brought that up at one of the last meetings, so I just wanted to show everybody that that's where the easements landed. Okay.
Yeah, and those still will kind of be floating.
Yeah. It's not obviously deeded yet, simply from the fact that any of these these lines are all floating lot lines, right? These are just a concept, but it's just so that when Stanley goes out and meets with companies, they understand that, okay, if they're looking at this lot, well, there's going to be an easement, or just the idea that there's going to need to be an easement someplace,
Right.
to service that upper lot. So, okay.
Yeah, you're right. It's easier to do it now than having to ask somebody permission if that ownership is transferred to a private company. So
That's correct.
thank you for doing that.
Yep. No, that was a great point you made. So, let's see, the last share I just wanted to make, I think everybody's, I did want to show you the latest,
Going with the flyovers.
yeah, it's the latest flyover here, if I can find it. Let's see, desktop. FCIDA 6. Finance Committee, August 5th. It's still on we clean on. Here we go. Okay, back to this. Share. Okay. So this is the latest flyover from the Niagara project. This was as of last Friday, so that obviously there's been more work already done. You can see that they have the majority of the precast panels in place. You can see here, this is obviously all the steel structural support and the roof decking or the roof support. Okay. You kind of see it here as well. I was out at the site yesterday and did take a tour. Based upon their project schedule, next Tuesday, they're going to have roofers that are putting on the actual roof. So, they are full steam ahead, and they pride themselves in meeting their deadlines. So, anyways, that's just the update on that.
Yeah, I was amazed. I don't know if any of Mike or Dan has seen it, but I just drove by it.
Yeah.
On the way in. It's like unbelievable how this could be there right now, you know? It's
Impressive.
It's insane.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Greg Johnson doing the roof?
No, I don't think that's
Corral.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and then, really their biggest push right now, again, with, National Grid in particular, because that's what the meeting was about yesterday, is, they need to get their phase one, power in there. Because November 2nd is when the next wave of contractors come in, and this is Niagara's engineering group. And this is when all of their equipment from Germany starts showing up, all of their processing equipment. And that engineering group, they bring in their own construction trailers, and it's their own separate thing, but the site has to be at a particular readiness, right?
Yeah.
It needs to be able to be heated because it needs a constant temperature and, needs to have, power available, all that stuff. So, and there's a time, a month and a half or so that the engineering, that's all they're doing is setting up the equipment. So that's November 2nd is when that group comes in. And that's what this construction team right now is, that's their deadline to make sure everything's ready.
Where do these people stay, like at the Holiday Inn? Do they have like, I mean, is it a big crew? Don't you know? Or
Well,
20 people, 50 people? And
Yeah, I mean, if you go out there and look, I mean, it's just, there's, Choke Construction, they gotta have 50, 60 guys out there every day, right?
Right.
And then Gore Construction is doing the site work.
I mean, these guys from Germany here going back home.
Yeah, well, the equipment's just coming in,
Yeah.
it's coming into the Port of Albany and then it's gonna be trucked to the site.
Just curious what it does for
Yeah,
their
they stay in,
investment.
long-term rentals, long-term Airbnbs.
Okay.
The project manager, who's basically on site every day, 7 days a week, really. He comes from Louisiana, but he's rented a house, I think in Red Albin. He's basically rented it for the year and a half, so that's what they look at. But Niagara has their own team where they set the contractors up basically. So,
Yeah.
okay,
You're not gonna show up and say, well, we're going to bed tonight.
they've had all that sorted
Yeah.
before they showed up.
No, I think
It's
Joe,
pretty-
it's good to quantify that for people sometimes and go, not only that, but we brought some folks, not tourism necessarily, but
No.
same saying, they're not from the area and they're spending money and time here, so.
They're going out and eating at the restaurant.
Yeah, just make sure they're doing it in our county now when we start.
Sales tax generation is coming from out of the area. So anyway.
Yeah,
But
good stuff.
Very impressive. So,
Mhm.
anything else that, for open session, I do have, maybe a 10-minute executive that I want to talk to you about. If not, I'd like to request a motion to go in executive section for, item number 8 on the agenda.
Make that motion.
Joe Samuel, a second.
A second.
Dan, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Right.
Motion carried. We are in executive session at 10:23 Okay, we're out of executive session at 11:02. We'd like to make a motion to close the meeting.
Make that motion.
Joe, second.
I will make that motion.
Dan, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are closed.